Remarkable offense. No changes from game one in the starters. Stan, if you could hang your hat on one thing tonight, what would that be?
Well, look, I want to see if the Knicks are more aggressive in their pick-and-roll defense and not allow the threes that they gave up late in that game that beat them.
And for Indiana, this will always come down to pace. Again, we keep talking about the series. They have the depth. They want to make this a track meet.
Our officials tonight, the crew chief in his 30th season, James Capers. Our referee is Mark Davis in his 27th. Our umpire, Kevin Scott, in his 14th. Over 4,500 games officiated, and here we go. And the Knicks will begin it. Underneath, good pass, good finish, Anunoby.
This is the same way in the same play they started game one. That back cut, that's exactly what Rick Carl told us. That was a letdown here in game one.
Absolutely. And just able, giving up layups will get you beat.
31 points for Halliburton, including the big game-tying shot that sent it to OT. Working on the perimeter. Look at Towns sticking out there. Shot clock is at 3. Rebound. Knocked away. Looked like Indiana and Nembhard had a hand on it off the Knicks. Indiana's ball with a look at Tom Thibodeau, one-time assistant with the Boston Celtics. Won a championship there with Kevin Garnett. Doc Rivers, the coach. Here he is in New York in his 5th season. Oh, look at Siakam. Found his way into his former teammate with the Raptors, Anunoby, and getting the 2.
Well, that's his shot. If he can get into that mid-range and get to that right shoulder, he's very, very comfortable.
Karl Anthony Towns, a big game one with 35 points. Brunson will take it in. The defensive Turner is there. Knocked away inside. Good defense by Indiana, and here they come. The long strides, the gallop of Siakam.
Wow. What a nice coast-to-coast move there by Siakam.
All set up by the block by Miles Turner, leading the playoffs in block shots.
So the shooting in game one, 51% for each team. They shot well. Good offense. Anunoby, a fake. It's Towns for 3. Missed it all. Sails away in game one. Towns went 4 of 8 from distance.
People forget about how good defensively this Indiana team has been since January 1st.
Yeah, terrific. Siakam will take this shot. Anunoby will defend, and a good start for Siakam, who's got 6, and he didn't have the greatest scoring game in game one.
No, but we're seeing him, both of his shots in the half court have been his comfort zone, getting to that right shoulder turn.
Bridges had the big first quarter in game one, then struggled. There's an illegal D, a defensive 3 second. With 9:43 to go here in the first quarter. There's a look at Rick Carlisle.
About the in-game adjustment Coach Carlisle made in that second half, going away from Miles Turner, who started game one 5 of 5. Probably inserting Obi Toppin late in that fourth quarter, Coach, was the big difference maker.
Well, didn't, and Obi Toppin ended up being their leading rebounder with 10, had 3 on the offensive glass, and we saw him have that big dunk to put him up 3 in the overtime.
Jalen Brunson on top, 43 points, an amazing offensive performance. And Bridges down low, had 10 in the first quarter. Over Halliburton. With a rebound pulled down by Siakam, very active in this game so far. Halliburton the other way. A double-double for him. Siakam 3. And a rebound by Karl Anthony Towns, with again a double-digit rebounding performance to begin this series a couple nights ago. Inside, the double-teamed Anunoby throws it away with a turnover. Indiana has it, will try to cash in. Oh, what a pass indeed, and Siakam finishes. A look away. What a throw inside by Halliburton.
He was looking the whole way at Nesmith and found Siakam. That was an unbelievable play there by Halliburton.
Nesmith goes out on Brunson. Nesmith, a terrific defensive player. Anunoby 3.
How good was OG? When Brunson picked up those 5 fouls and he went on that 5-0 run that kind of extended that Knicks lead to double digits.
Yeah, look, that was his best stretch in the game and when they needed it most.
Whoa, another outside shot. This one goes. And a terrific start for Siakam now with 11.
Well, it's Siakam versus the Knicks right now.
And Siakam in game 1 scored 17. Down goes Brunson with a foul called on New York with 8:09 to go here in the first. It's on Turner.
Coach, look at the
of
eyes
Indiana,
of
who picks up
Halliburton.
his first.
They got Brunson and Bridges to go with Nembhard.
What a start for Pascal Siakam. 5 of 6.
Josh Hart on the wing, Anunoby, Siakam there. They've trailed by as many as 10 to Indiana tonight.
I think that's the best thus far. New York defensive pressure right there.
Absolutely.
On that possession.
Bridges and Brunson. Got the screen. There's the switch. Here's the three.
Doesn't need much. Does not need much daylight.
Well, they're trying to put Thomas Bryant in every pick and roll since he's come into the game.
Knicks on an 8-0 run. Here's Halliburton. He'll take a long three in this. Rebound Brunson. And here come the Knicks. 6 of 12. Anunoby, cross court, top and knocked it away. Brunson prying his way into the paint. McBride.
Boy, McBride has come in again and given them energy, life, and points.
Absolutely. 5 points, the great defensive possession.
We got a tie on a 10-0 Knick run. Halliburton on top. He'll orchestrate. Shot clock in single digits. Brunson is on him. Deflected out of bounds. The quick twitch right there of Anunoby. Shot clock at 6. Tonight, the NBA on TNT from Madison Square Garden. Brought to you by How to Train Your Dragon in theaters June 13th. And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Well, the Knicks defensively, they are absolutely flying all over the floor here, Coach.
They really
early on.
Since those first couple of minutes where it was the Siakam show, their defense has really picked up.
Siakam back in. There's the whistle. And a foul. So Halliburton is out. Nesmith is in.
The worst thing you can do defensively is to foul on a three-pointer. There's nothing close to as bad you can do. You'd be better off just giving him a wide-open three, I guess, unless his name's Aaron Nesmith.
Yes.
What were your conversations with Halliburton like, Reg? I mean, if anybody could understand what he went through the other night, it's you.
It's interesting, too, because you talk about the Knicks turning the page after that very disappointing game one loss. The Pacers are somewhat in the same boat because you can't be satisfied because you got game one. And when you get to this level of a Final Four situation in the pro game, you got to assume that you got to win 2, sometimes a third time on the road. And I think him trying to recalibrate his team to refocus all their energies here into game 2, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Indiana's been great on the road. They've won 5 straight road playoff games, and the Knicks only 3-4 here at Madison Square Garden in the playoffs.
Siakam with a monster start for the Pacers with 14 points, only player in double figures so far. Brunson shadowed by Bryant, hands off to Nesmith on the defense. The three won't fall. The rebound inside. TJ Huck lost it, could not control it. As McConnell is out of bounds off Indiana, New York's ball.
Well, that's the Mitchell Robinson effect right there. Getting a body, a hand, and just causing chaos underneath that offensive glass there for the Knicks.
He had 4 offensive rebounds in game 1.
He did, but what's even more deceptive with the Knicks had 8 of these the other night that don't show up as offensive rebounds, where the ball gets knocked out of bounds to them. 8 of them in one game the other night.
Brunson is 3 of 5. Neesmith is there. On the wing, McBride corks a three. Here comes Mathurin. Third-year player out of Arizona. On the wing to McConnell, a 10-year veteran who's bounced around the league, indispensable off the bench for Indiana. Robinson's on him. Knocked away Anunoby. Another deflection, another drive, a great fake.
The Knicks defense, like you said, Reg, these last few minutes has been a lot different than what we saw throughout game one.
Mathurin sizes up Brunson. Rebound Robinson. Bridges. Mathurin in the way. Approaching a minute to play in the first. He'll drive and pry his way in. And here they go with Anunoby. Siakam with the bump in the defense. In the fadeaway, Anunoby. Robinson's got it. There's a loose ball foul. It's on Indiana inside. And that will go on Bryant.
It's number 2 on Bryant, but who else? On the offensive glass than Robinson. Here's the steal by OG. And it's off to the races. Again, the defense by the Knicks. Take away the first 4 or 5 minutes of this first quarter has been absolutely outstanding.
I totally agree. And we didn't see even a 4 or 5 minute stretch of great defense from the Knicks in game one. Their intensity much, much higher and their attention to detail much better.
Pacers had a foul to give. Here comes Bridges across the lane. Tailed by Turner with a great fake. Down goes Turner and another whistle inside. That's going to go on the Pacers. It goes on Turner, and he picks up his second.
So they just took Bryant out of the game with 2 fouls. Now Turner's going to come out, and Obi Toppin will come in. This is the small lineup that we saw from the Pacers down the stretch the other night, Reggie, that turned this game around.
That's the flexibility they have, being able to play big or small.
NBA on TNT tonight, brought to you by the Kia Telluride X-Line. Kia, the official automotive partner of the NBA. And by AT&T, connecting changes everything. With Mikal Bridges at the free throw line. Game number 609 consecutive games played for the Iron Man. Offensive rebound, Anunoby. Brunson, he'll put up a three. Rebound inside. Robinson collects it again. He is a machine inside. One offensive rebound after another. It's Anunoby up top. The assist from Brunson.
But it's Mitchell Robinson who got it all started again. Well, actually, Anunoby started it, got the first one, and then Mitchell Robinson another one.
T.J. McConnell. Siakam with the 14-point first quarter. Bridges there. And a beautiful stroke to put in his 16th point of the first quarter.
Well, and that's the third one where he's turned back to that right shoulder.
Brunson shifting gears and putting up a teardrop. Robinson! Final seconds. Their biggest lead of 2. Brunson with the sweet fade and finished off well by the high-flying Anunoby with the 25 NBA playoffs presented by Google.
Robinson once again energizing this Garden fan base with his energy on the offensive glass. Allie LaForce had a chance to speak with Pacer head coach Rick Carlisle about his impact.
Well, Coach, what are some of the things that got away from you defensively during the Knicks' 10-0 run in those last couple of possessions?
Yeah, obviously second shots. So, Robinson's a big factor on the boards. Anunoby just got one, so we're going to have to do a better job of hitting first on the boards. And then, it's a tighter game. Both teams are going to come down to the details.
Thank you, Coach.
We start the second quarter. Robinson pokes it away. Mathurin was dribbling. Shot clock is at 6. Indiana's ball. Stan, a quick glance at the stats in the first quarter. Anything catch your eye?
Well, look, what really catches my eyes, the Knicks are going to challenge this out-of-bounds call, which Mitchell Robinson wanted him to do. But the bench play, plus 12 with Mitchell Robinson, plus 10 with McBride. And here's the call. The Knicks are going to challenge, and they will win that challenge, Reggie. That ball is off Mathurin.
The Eastern Conference Finals on TNT, presented by AT&T. Successful challenge by New York. It's their ball. It was overturned. Reg, first quarter thoughts. That we're just into the second quarter here now.
Well, I'm loving the defensive pressure by the Knicks. You take away the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game, I thought when they came out a little bit lackadaisical, their pressure has been absolutely on point here.
Payne is in. McBride. Towns back on the floor. Bridges. And down low, Robinson. The big men are down low. Towns and Robinson paired on that low part. Here's Payne with a three. Rebound. It's collected by newly instated Tony Bradley, who signed a couple of 10 days in the late portion of the season, signed for the rest of the year, and seeing his first action as Mathurin takes it in, fouled as he flew inside. And McBride was defending with the Knicks by 2, and the foul goes on Deuce McBride, number 1.
Well, Mathurin got to the free throw line 5 times the other night. They call this one on the floor, which
this is what confuses me.
Yeah.
This is what confuses me.
That should have been a shooting foul. I'm with you on that one.
Indiana has won 5 consecutive road playoff games, including game 1. McConnell inside, somehow, some way, blasting for 2.
We saw that from McConnell in game 1. In that second quarter, there's a foul on McConnell against Payne.
Well, Rick Carlisle didn't like that at all, and
especially the way they're playing and as physical as they're playing. I mean, that's a regular season call right there. You usually let that go come playoff time.
Well, and they have been throughout all of these playoffs. Yeah, they did put 2 hands on him, I guess. But still.
Come on, Coach.
No,
everyone's putting 2 hands on him.
Bridges and Nesmith. Nesmith for rebound. Connell came in the other night and was really good. Had that great pace and was scoring. Plays with confidence. Takes it down low and a fadeaway and a Robinson rebound.
How many times are you going to say that in this series?
Yep. It's McBride trying to dodge the defense of Mathurin. Look at Towns. Hooking, passing, Payne, slashing. Knocked away. Nice piece of defense inside. Mathurin, Siakam, and they'll take it the other way and scoop it home.
What a first half here by Siakam. 7 of 10, 18 points. And again, they need all of these points right now because Halliburton, who's been on the bench for a while, has not even scored. There's the shot block there by Bradley. Again, he's only played 10 minutes in these playoffs.
By the way,
they weren't meaning minutes.
Right.
No, they were not.
We just had a delay of game violation. One more becomes a technical. It's McBride. Karl Anthony Towns bumping into Siakam.
That's Towns' first bucket right there. Siakam a little bit late getting over there. There's the contact.
Karl Anthony Towns found out before the game, 3rd team All-NBA.
And that's a bad foul, Coach, if you're Siakam. If you're going to foul him like that, wrap him up and make him run it from the free throw line.
Do not let him get the shot up. All that foul did is give him a chance at another point.
Free throws plus 7 points for the Knicks in game 1, but they missed 12.
Yeah, they shot 40.
You're right.
I mean, 5 straight games now, the Pacers have allowed opponents to shoot 35 or more. And where the problem really is with that with Indiana is they want to keep the pace up, and you can't keep the pace up when the other team's sitting at the line.
Siakam 3. Bradley the rebound. Deflected. Knick defense. And here comes Bridges. Glides, feeds, on top with Towns going up against Nesmith. On the fly.
Man, that is such a difficult shot for a big man. Going left and shooting back right.
Bradley. And now Siakam. That's good. And a foul, and 20 points for Siakam.
And the first foul on Towns.
Yep.
Gotta allow the jump shooter a landing spot. Look at his feet right there. Yeah, he can easily have rolled an ankle right there.
Yeah, it's a good call.
It's all about protecting the jump shooter.
Pascal Siakam began in this league with a lot of G League time, worked his way up, became a NBA champion with Toronto, and then traded to Indiana last year, and they made the Eastern Conference Finals a season ago against Boston.
Well, he has taken 12 of Indiana's 25 shots to open this game, but they need him right now because these non-Halliburton minutes have really been a problem for Indiana. The other night, plus 15 with Halliburton and minus 12 in his 13 minutes on the bench.
Neesmith got away with a double dribble.
It's Mathurin working on McBride and takes it in. McConnell will pick it up and put it down. He leads all bench players in assists, one of the top scorers off the bench in the playoffs. Payne will sneak his way, finding the running and leaping Robinson.
Robinson is setting some bone-crushing screens, which is allowing him to slip and get these alley-oops.
Mathurin. There's a foul.
Offensive foul on Neesmith.
And that's his first. And we're going back to the bench, and a lot of the starters going to come back in for Indiana. Here's the foul.
Good call.
Yeah, it's pretty easy call right in front of the official. And if you're Neesmith, especially a guy who's going to, it's only his first, but a guy who's going to have to spend so much time guarding Brunson, you can't give away fouls like that on offense.
So a game one win by Indiana on the road for the first time for them in 7 years, winning by 3 in overtime. This is game 2, evenly matched so far. Towns hard to the hole with a foul. Toppin had just checked in. Toppin, the former number 8 pick overall by the Knicks a couple years ago, will pick up the foul. Toppin picks up number 1. NBA tonight on TNT from the Garden. Brought to you by How to Train Your Dragon. In theaters June 13th. And by Google, proud sponsor of the NBA. Karl Anthony Towns at the line, 9 of 11, Reg, in game 1 from the stripe.
Since he's been back on the floor here for the Knicks, he has been looking to be so aggressive, especially with Brunson on the bench for the Knicks. They are running their offense through the big cat.
Which they absolutely should, because they don't have a lot of shot creation on the floor right now. McBride's a shooter. Bridges can make shots, but nobody else is somebody who just can get the ball and go get his shot other than Towns.
Knicks at home in the playoffs, 3-4. On the road, New York has gone 5-1.
Yeah, both these teams are 5-1 on the road in the playoffs.
So impressive.
Well, and so neither one, that's why when you look at game 1 and you say Indiana stole a win on the road, it hasn't mattered a lot in these playoffs, not just for these two teams, but anywhere really.
Halliburton is in with Toppin on top, and Tyrese Halliburton right here. Draws the fence in front of him with the 2 bigs. Now Toppin will try to pierce the lane. Robinson got a hand on it. Robinson knocked it away. Here comes McBride racing the other way. Sets up for 3. Rebound, chased and grabbed. Snatched by Towns. 3, good. Timeout, Indiana. For player-owned way stand presented by PayPal. Towns, 10 of the last 12 points for the Knicks.
And doing it every way you can, at the rim and then at the line, on the in-between shot, and a 3. Reggie's doing it all, carrying this this Knicks offense with leading scorer Jalen Brunson on the bench.
And we were just talking during the break. You're impressed, Reg, with the Knick energy.
The energy, and more importantly, again, we talked about for this series dominating the offensive glass. Towns there getting that long rebound, which leads to that three.
And with Robinson in the game, New York 29-14. Bench has almost gotten stronger as the playoffs have gone on for the Knicks. Towns against Toppin.
Towns is giving it to him. Absolutely giving it to him. 9-0 Knicks run here.
Halliburton. He'll drive. Toppin will set. Nimhard will fire a three.
Needed. That is a big shot right there.
He's a quick three-point shooter.
He is in Towns. We saw it the other night, especially late in the game. Just too soft on those pick and rolls. He's got to step up and take away the three. Look at the space that he gives Nimhard here. He's just laying back. Way too much space for Andrew Nimhard. Towns has to get up.
Cameron Payne just turned it over. Halliburton, Nimhard, Turner, Toppin out there for Indiana, along with newly instated Ben Shepherd. It's Turner on top. Robinson comes to meet. The drive to the hole. Big-time play. Miles Turner.
I'm surprised at that blow-by by Robinson. He's been doing such a great job of guarding guards out on the floor. How did Turner get around him?
Longest tenured Pacer takes it hard to the hole for Indiana. Up 1-0.
Blocked by Towns. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. What you want, shorty, what you need. My run game, we ain't never leave. Counting up this money, we ain't never sleep. You got V12, 12 V. I'm all the way up.
Let us see you do it. 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 Let us see you go hard.
Rocking tonight here in New York. Don't miss a playoff moment with the NBA app. Get the latest scores, highlights, and behind-the-scenes access to all the drama. Download the NBA app today, powered by Microsoft. 21 points, Siakam, the only player in double figures for the Pacers, and 12 for Towns. He has been on a roll. Let's take a look at the upcoming playoff schedule. ABC tomorrow night. Western Conference Finals for Minneapolis. In Game 3, Oklahoma City and the Timberwolves, 2-zip Thunder. Sunday on TNT, we will shift to Indianapolis with Eastern Conference Finals, game number 3, New York and Indiana, 8 o'clock Eastern. For more, go to the NBA app as Obi Toppin picks up his second personal foul. And here's Bridges.
Well, and that's their 4th team foul, 93 feet away from the basket.
And there's a dribbling violation.
Well, that's 6 turnovers for the Knicks. Turnovers were a big part of it the other night. Reggie talked about it in the open. Those 15 turnovers negated their offensive rebounding advantage. Already 6 tonight.
So the double dribble on Bridges gives it off to Indiana. Nimhard is down low, and Bridges is on him. Halliburton. It's Turner. Wow, that's a travel, and that's a turnover by Indiana. A couple dribbling violations both ways.
Well, 5:25 left here in the second. Halliburton 0 for 3 from the field with no points. Remember, 31 in game 1. He's got to be a little bit more engaged offensively here to close this second quarter.
Are they playing him different tonight, you think, Reg, defensively?
Well, again, He is more of a traditional point guard where he's trying to get his teammates involved, but come playoff time, you got to be a little bit more aggressive and selfish.
Brunson can't get the roll. Halliburton is on the way, and he'll take it the other way with Toppin.
And to your point, Reg, they need him to score. They were 30-3 this year when he scores 20 or more.
Toppin double, kicks. Steal. Here comes Halliburton. He'll put on the brakes. A look left. He throws right in the corner. Picked off by Hart. Nice defense by the Knicks.
Nice job by Hart, not giving up on the play.
3. McBride. No. Robinson there. Chases it down. Another offensive rebound. Hart has it with a stagger. McBride sidearm inside. Bridges.
Well, I'll tell you, Mitchell Robinson.
Man.
He's the MVP of the first half of this game, or at least the first 20 minutes of this game for the Knicks.
Turner's in there. Hart will defend. Plummets into the paint. Bridges the rebound.
Turner is struggling. He struggled from that second quarter on after game 1.
That's a turnover for the Knicks. They had a bunch of them in game 1. Here comes Toppin.
This time he'll do a simple dunk. Remember, he missed one of those in game 1. Probably hurt a little bit on the bench from Carlisle.
He did score 4 of his 8 points in overtime, though he tried to make amends and did.
But 8 turnovers for New York, 7 for Indiana, though, and they only had 7 the entire 53 minutes the other night.
Brunson.
I cannot rave enough about the footwork of Jalen Brunson. I mean, it is immaculate.
Brunson's got 2 in the quarter, 11 for the game. 3, Halliburton, no. The high bounce again. That's all he shoots when he misses. Those high bounces. Rebound collected by Hart. The driving Bridges. And he's picked up by Halliburton. 3 to play in the half. Bridges struggling tonight. Another shot. 3. No. Robinson tries to get it and snared out of the air by Nembhard with a timeout taken by Indiana. Knicks by 1. They've led by 7. Pacers have led by 10. Eastern Conference Finals on TNT. Women's World Cup and Olympic champion Tierna Davidson is in the building. There she is. Great to see her. A reminder, the U.S. women's national team will be back in action on May 31st against China. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Eastern, live on TBS and streaming on Max. Stan, when you were coaching, what would you tell your team final 3 minutes of a quarter, and in this case, the half?
Well, the half even more important, as you know, because you carry some momentum and a good feeling into halftime if you finish the half well.
Siakam had the monster first quarter. Quieter here in the second. Nembhard working on Hart and takes it in hard, and it was knocked away with nice defense by Hart.
Well, if you're Rick Carlisle, you're saying to yourself, we're down 1, and our leader and best player, Halliburton, has not even scored a bucket.
Amazing. He's going to gash the defense here with the drive, a twist, a contorted shot. Another Robinson rebound. He's collected 7 off the bench.
Mitchell Robinson playing huge minutes right here. Has not gone back to the bench since he first came in.
What a playoff force he has been. Brunson. Nembhard will defend.
I don't know how you guard him, because he's so good going over his left and right shoulder.
Halliburton steering his way on the fly with a teardrop off the glass for 2.
His
One of
first
6.
bucket.
Let's talk about Brunson's footwork, but I know that's something you spent a lot of time working on when you were in college, working with the great Kiki Vandeweghe, who had worked with the great Pete Newell on all that footwork.
And there's a foul on Shepard, trying to watch the ball handler, Jalen Brunson. It is his first.
Well, Mitchell Robinson just impacting this game in so many ways with relentless effort at both. They're trying to block him out, Reg, with 3 guys, and it doesn't matter. He's able to come up with the ball, and he's getting it done at the defensive end as well.
How has New York tried to slow down Indiana's pace?
Well, number one, their defense has been much more extended here, right? So it's not allowing the Pacers to kind of get that runway start. And again, they are extending their defense to the three-point line. You see how the Pacers are struggling from that three-point line. Remember how well, and this is going to be the first break for Mitchell Robinson. And how about this Garden applause
Standing
for Robinson?
Yeah, standing.
16 straight minutes.
Wow, that's amazing.
With that effort, and you talk about slowing a pace. Kevin, if you can't get a rebound, it's hard to run.
Yep.
And Indiana's having a tremendous time getting a rebound with Mitchell Robinson in the game.
Right now, New York is +5 in the rebounding category. Minute and a half to play in the half. Top into Halliburton. Cross court, athletic catch, bobbled, reeled in. Siakam finishes well after what looked like a play blown. And he puts in his 23rd point.
Where would the Pacers be offensively
Wow.
in this game without the services of Siakam?
Only player in double figures for Indiana. Brunson and Nembhard again.
Look at that. Look at the fadeaway. I mean, it is pure butter by Brunson. Because if you jump and try to contest it and go into his body, he's going to fake and get the foul.
Neesmith knocked away. Brunson out of bounds off of New York as Brunson has the
And
last
coach,
8 by
look at the footwork.
Knicks.
Look at the footwork here. He's always on balance, comes to a jump stop, the shoulders shrub, fade away.
And he's in rhythm, right?
Always in rhythm.
Knicks have led by 7, up by 3. It's Siakam. Hart is there. Nembhard.
Got the switch you wanted. You got to come double him.
Siakam will try to gouge his way. Here's a pass. And it's up and in. Neesmith puts it through, and he's got 5. First 2 in the quarter.
Well, he's just waiting for the last 5 minutes, Kevin.
Good for us. Towns. He averts one defender and then puts that one up, and Siakam collects the miss. Half minute to go in the half. Indiana shooting 49%. The Knicks are shooting 47% in this one. Siakam playing with incredible confidence tonight after a 17-point game 1. Doubled, fires, and a Towns rebound. And a foul, Indiana. It's on Halliburton. 1 on him. Coming up, the American Express halftime report. E.J. Kenny, Shaq, Chuck, and Draymond Green are all ready. And look at Shaq. He's always the team guy, straightening out the tie, making sure the lapel is ready to go. Draymond watching and smiling. Kenny shaking his head, can't figure out why it's even going on. But there it is, and there they are, a Hall of Fame crew ready to bring you our halftime. Hart at the line.
Not a very smart foul there by Halliburton.
They bring back in Robinson and Bridges, New York does.
They're going to go after an offensive rebound and make sure that Towns doesn't get another foul, but Hart's going to basically end up taking a half-court shot right there, and instead, Halliburton sends him to the free throw line.
It's all about those little plays, Coach, that add up over the course of a game.
Absolutely.
And come back to bite you.
Especially against a team like the Knicks, who have played 7 one-possession games already in these playoffs. Plays like that turn a game.
And both teams, guys, have come back in many games in these playoffs.
And what's scary, if this comes down to being a one-possession game, a lot like it was in game 1, Jalen Brunson, who has it absolutely going here in this first half, is in rhythm.
Hart. Lead is 3. 1.5 to go in the half.
What you don't want here is a silly turnover.
Long shot, Halliburton, and halftime is here. Siakam's 23 points for the Indiana Pacers are a playoff career high for a half for him. We'll take a break and then take you to our studio high atop the floor of Madison Square Garden. The Eastern Conference Finals on TNT, presented by AT&T.
Uptown by the polo grounds. Commentators never spoke on him. He got drafted.
Just tell Siri. Add wings to my grocery list.
It's a one-possession game at halftime, going to the second half. Game 2 Eastern Conference Finals at Madison Square Garden. Kevin Harlan, Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, Coach Stan Van Gundy. We're going to talk about some coaching adjustments that you think you've seen coming in and what you may expect in the second half, and they're presented by Progressive.
Yeah, look, it's simple. It's stuff we've talked about the whole series. Indiana's got to keep New York off the offensive glass. New York's second in the playoffs in second chance points, and they've already got 10 tonight. New York's got to take care of the ball. We know that's been a problem. Game 1, they had 15 turnovers, already 8 tonight.
And Allie, the Knicks have ended the first quarter on a 17-5 run and ended the second quarter on a 10-6 run.
That's right. That's right. And I spoke to the Pacers assistant coaching staff, and they told me we looked at the possession game at the half. We looked at the rebounding. New York has 6 offensive rebounds, just like Stan said, and the free throws. That was the difference. He said offensively, we've been stagnant. We rely and we feed off of our motion and our movement, and we are settling for ISOs and jumpers. We have to get our flow back on offense, guys.
Good stuff. You know, watching that Oklahoma City, Minnesota series, the third quarters have been big for the Thunder. And I kind of get the feeling that the third quarter is going to be big in this one.
Tyrese Halliburton, 2 of 10 combined 4 points. Those guys were big, especially Turner in that first quarter in game 1. But he's got to find a way to stay on the court.
So Indiana, who only had 7 turnovers in game 1, 7 already here as we start this second half. Nembhard, Halliburton, Turner 3, Bridges defends, rebound Hart.
Well, just what Reggie said. Rick Carlisle tried to get Miles Turner going, a little pin down there for him to get a catch and shoot 3.
3, Towns. Rebound Halliburton. We've had 8 ties and 10 lead changes. Halliburton and Bridges. It's Siakam for 3. Close Anunoby. Count the triple. Ring it up. He's got 26.
He has been the lone bright start offensively here for the Pacers. Who's going to come along for the ride?
Brunson has been incredibly important. When he's in the game, they're plus 17. When he's out, minus 14. 3 won't fall. Out of bounds it goes. Ricochets away. New York's ball.
Too early to challenge here if you're Rick Carlisle. He's looking for over the back there by Towns.
Bench points are even at 9 apiece. Surprise, guys?
Well, look, New York's bench has been better than Indiana's bench throughout the playoffs. It's just that Indiana's bench plays a lot more minutes and is part of their whole philosophy of wearing teams down.
Towns pickpocketed and converted with nice transition points at the other end by Nembhard.
And coach, there's to your point about turnovers for the Knicks.
Well, there it is, their 9th turnover for 11 Indiana points. Indiana had 27 points off New York's 15 turnovers the other night.
It's Brunson. Inside to Hart, sandwiched with the defense. Look at the hustle and the dive by Siakam, and held by Anunoby. They'll jump the ball.
Let's take a look at our AT&T connected cam. And here's the defense, a little swipe down, and it's off to the races for Indiana. Nembhard all the way to the cup.
Reg, when you were playing coming out of halftime, starting the second half, how would you get the juices back rolling the way they were in the first half?
Well, again, both teams are going to have to create offense from their defense, and I think that's when both teams are at their best. When they are able to engage defensively and get out and run. Now, again, that's a little tougher for the Pacers on the road, but we saw them do that in those last 5 minutes of game 1.
Nesmith was on Brunson. Halliburton watches Bridges set up in the lane.
It's only his second made field goal for Bridges. Again, they're going to keep attacking Halliburton and Brunson.
Halliburton and Towns is there. Lasers one in. Turner whacked by Bridges. Anunoby was second line of defense. Bridges will pick up the foul. Halliburton is 1 of 7 in this game, too.
When you switch and you've got Towns out there on Halliburton, you know that there's a mismatch down below with Miles Turner, because it's Bridges who is guarding Halliburton.
Bridges picks up the first. Miles Turner at the free throw line for the Indiana Pacers. As we take a look at our FanDuel live point spread for tonight's game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, beginning at -6, now -3.5. Pacers were plus 12 points shooting threes in game 1. Tonight, plus 3 so far.
No, but they got most of those late in the game.
Yes, they did.
The other night also. So long way to go in this one.
Here's Anunoby. Towns averting the defense of Turner, takes it in hard. Count it. Bodies on the floor like bowling pins, and Towns slow to get up. Turner had to help to get himself hoisted off the floor.
I've been so impressed by Karl Anthony Towns. His game off the dribble here. And it doesn't matter if they're bigs or smalls. Miles Turner is going to have to do a better job of keeping the big cat in front of him.
Well, he did what a lot of guards tend to do at times, is he turned his head to look for the screen. Towns able to drive the other way. When you're squared up on the guy with the ball, you've got to lock in on his gut and focus on staying in front of the ball. You can get some help on a pick and roll. You can't get
half in the third. Halliburton, Turner setting up. Weaving, driving, slamming, Halliburton.
And not settling. A couple times Halliburton could have jacked up a 3. Nice job there of getting all the way to the rim.
And a great seal in there by Miles Turner. Sealed off Bridges' help.
Hart. Towns. Turner.
Got numbers.
And it goes in wide open, ready, aim, fire. Halliburton a triple.
First of the evening.
He's got 7. Brunson will bulldoze his way in, hit the deck. Towns picked it up. Turner turned it away. Out of bounds, Indiana's ball.
Indiana's defense here the last couple possessions, outstanding.
Siakam up top, and now it's Halliburton. And Hart will be on him. Shot clock is down to 6. Neesmith slashes, got it.
Well, here's that spurt ability that Charles was talking about at halftime that Indiana can throw on you. A little 7-0 run here by the Pacers.
And a lead of 5. They've led by 10. 4 minutes gone, third quarter. And Brunson defended by Neesmith. And again, the shot clock deep at 5. Bridges a screen, switch with Halliburton. Bridges. He's got 7.
Well, Neesmith came back to help Halliburton. They did not want Halliburton on Brunson one-on-one. So 2 guys end up on Brunson, and Bridges wide open for a layup.
Each bench with 9. Starters begin the second half. Neesmith inside. Towns grabs the ball, sheds the D, fouled on the play.
And here's what we're talking about on this last bucket here. Bridges sets the screen. Brunson's on Halliburton. Neesmith comes back because he doesn't want Halliburton on him one-on-one. Bridges wide open, and then this just not a smart foul. Good effort, but he got the ball, let it go. Do not give away fouls like that. 2 team fouls already.
Second on Neesmith.
Well, number one, that was a bad shot selection there by Neesmith. That's not his game. His game is catch and shoot corner threes like we saw here in game 1. And then you compound that with the foul after that.
Ben Shepherd is checked in for Neesmith.
And Lloyd Pierce just talking to Neesmith about that. Neesmith trying to explain himself. Lloyd Pierce said no.
A burst by Brunson. Good feed, Bridges. The fadeaway. Halliburton the other way. Siakam. Count it. Foul. Those long strides are something else.
Boy, Pascal Siakam. He is absolutely having his way with the New York Knicks. Contact down low, the concentration.
And 28 points for Indiana. Third quarter, let's take a look at our Google search trends for tonight. It's a lot about Pascal Siakam, a career high in what he's doing. A terrific game 2 for Indiana. Game high, 28 points.
Remember now, former champion with those Toronto Raptors, Kawhi Leonard, OG, Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry.
Yes. Pacers with great momentum, 9-2 in the playoffs. And Stan, they finished the regular season so strong, 22-5. They got healthy and it showed.
Yeah, look, they've been one of the best teams in this league for the last 3 months.
On par with some of the analytics and numbers of Oklahoma City and others. Cleveland, Boston, Bridges here. Shot clock again low at 5. Anunoby got the screen. Setting up, it's a 3-over Turner. Rebound by Halliburton. He's got 6. Going inside in the corner. A Shepherd 3, a Towns rebound, the outlet to Bridges. Brunson. Ooh, what a feed. Burton, and there's a whistle away from the ball, and it was down low as Turner was trying to maneuver. And the foul goes on Bridges. That's
Whatever
the 6th
reason,
assist for Brunson.
Siakam was a little bit late in trailing OG. Well, now with Siakam going to the bench, where's the offense going to come from?
Well, it's got to come from this guy right here.
Toppin has come in. Halliburton 3. Rebound by Bridges. Knicks with their starters on the floor. Bridges one of them. Hart. Anunoby, triple. Towns almost had it. Toppin got it. And the Pacers on the move. Nimhard curls in the lane. And the Olympian from Canada puts it up and in, and he's got 12 for the Indiana Pacers.
Always under control,
yes.
Always on balance, and that's why he's such a good mid-range shooter.
Tell people all the time, he is the smaller version of Derek White from Boston.
Anunoby, that's a 3, and a 2-point game.
They needed that one.
Signed the richest contract in the history of the Knicks this offseason. Backpedaling 3, Halliburton, bucket.
There's the answer.
Well, they're going right at that pick and roll, getting the switch with Towns and letting Halliburton go to work on Towns.
Halliburton has got 8 in the quarter. Brunson with a lot of traffic around. Rebound Hart, out to Towns, triple away.
Offensive rebounds, again, doing in the Pacers. That time it was Josh Hart. And he finds Towns for a 3.
Halliburton and Towns back out on their own. setting up. Shot clock at 3. Infiltrates the circle. Fouled as he fired.
Out on Towns. He was dancing for about 18 seconds with Karl Anthony Towns doing his best to hold on. And let's see if there was a little bit of a shove at the bottom end of it. Kind of hard to see from that angle.
Number 2, Reg, on him.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah,
right there.
Definitely right.
Dislodged him.
But here's what the Knicks are going to do now. They're going to bring Mitchell Robinson back in the game because they know he can switch and handle things a little bit better than Karl Anthony Towns defensively.
But what this also does is hurts the Knicks as well, because now you're taking off that three-point threat and score in Towns. 18, and a lot of those coming in the second and third quarter, but now he's on the bench. But you get better defensively with Robinson.
Tony Bradley's going to check in for Indiana, joining Shepard.
Well, I think it's interesting, Kevin. They brought Tony Bradley in the first time because of foul trouble. But then I think they saw that that bigger body had a better chance against Mitchell Robinson than these other guys. And so we may see him a lot more in this series against Mitchell Robinson.
And now it's the Pacers missing free throws. It was the Knicks in game 1, 6 of 9 for the Pacers here.
Brunson 3. And we are tied. Timeout, Indiana.
He's out the best. Timothy Chalamet, Tracy Morgan. How about Bill Murray, Michael J. Fox, the marvelous one, Marv Albert.
Good to see him.
Ben Stiller, he's a staple here all the time. And our own David Zaslav and the Mac Attack, John McEnroe.
Had a wonderful talk with our boss, David Zaslav, before the game. TNT is your new home for Roland Garros. Watch the stars of the tennis world descend on Paris, beginning this Sunday, May 25th on TNT and streaming on Max. With the voice of Turner Sports, Brian Anderson, and a all-star crew. Here's Halliburton and Bridges there. Shot clock at 6. Outside, top in 3. Rebound off the fingertips of Robinson. Controlled by Neesmith. McConnell is in, sets up on the fly, and puts one down. Indiana has outscored the New York Knicks in this third, 23-18. Brunson tries to evade the defense with a bump into McConnell.
There's nothing you can do.
He has made that every shot tonight.
There is nothing you can do because he has the pump fake and the hesitation, so he's always keeping the defense off balance.
Another tie, 13 of them. Into Toppin, awkward shot. Somehow got it up there, and Anunoby will collect it, and here come the New York Knicks with Hart. Deflected. Halliburton's got it. Here he comes the other way. Hart is right there. Nice defense. Brunson, oh, look out, he comes in. Brunson falls to their left. Ball the other way. Hart the other way. And a drive the other way. That was sets up 3. No. Rebound. Robinson held and fouled. All right, I got to quit. Hold on. I got
Are you okay, Mr. Harlan?
Yeah, don't worry about me.
Oh, this was
Thank
great.
you. Nice fan in back here helping us out. Thank you. See, Knicks fans are some of the best fans in the league. Thank you, sir.
Yes, they are. You got to love these Knicks fans.
You don't have to.
Oh, look at this coming right at us. Coach, you look scared. Are you okay?
I wasn't the least. I just kept watching
your
the
eyes
game.
got all big.
I just kept watching the game. I didn't even realize he was coming over.
Bridges with a 3 and a New York lead of 3.
That's Bridges' first 3 of the night.
Inside, oh, McConnell somehow nestled his way in there and got the 2 a hard way. Under 2 to go here in the third quarter. New York is shooting 48%. Pacers are shooting 52%. Bridges from Brunson. 14-footer. McConnell cleans it up. He's off to the races. Only knows one gear. And inside finds Siakam, who will flush it down and jackhammer it home.
And again, it was Bradley with the brush screen that didn't allow Deuce McBride to become a part of that play.
We got a timeout. It's New York. 1:18 to go in the third. A terrific Game 2. Eastern Conference Finals on TNT. Just up and ready to go. The NBA Tonight on TNT is brought to you by Prime. From streaming to shipping, it's on Prime. Now let's check out the Limelight presented by Corona.
The most playoff matches over the last 40 years. This storied rivalry.
Hart is out, McBride is in. Changed during that break. Brunson probing with Toppin in the way. Makes a move, scrapes his way into the paint and gets it to go.
Doesn't matter if you're the same size as him or 5 inches taller, which Toppin is, he's able to score at will.
Bradley off balance, shoved as he fired in a foul on New York.
I mean, Rick Carlisle going deep, deep into his bench. Tony Bradley, again, has not played very many minutes here in the playoffs because of the foul trouble and ineffective play of some players on the Pacers. Bradley being called and thrust in the action here, Coach.
He's only played 4 games, Stan, in these playoffs and just minimal work. He's a 7th-year player out of North Carolina who's played for 5 different teams, and he's only playing after 2 10 days in March, and then they signed him for the regular season.
Right, but he's a big body, and when they need somebody to throw in there against Mitchell Robinson, he may be their best option. I think big thing down here for New York. They have to set solid screens so that you either have to switch or put 2 on the ball.
Brunson hard. Rebound Siakam. The speed of McConnell. His eyes always looking. Maneuvers around McBride. Kicks it on the wing. Toppin back on top. Nesmith, the hero of game 1. Siakam spins up. Brunson with a nice fake. The collision. The 2.
Siakam is
what a play.
Putting on a show here offensively. Look at the spin move here. He knew that he had Brunson on him. And it was Robinson who was rotating over late. Little pump fake, he gets him in the air. There's the contact. What an efficient evening for Siakam, Coach. 13 of 18 from the field and 32 points.
Here's Siakam. He's a 2-time All-NBA player and a 3-time All-Star after being a late first-round draft pick.
Yeah, one of the great picks by Masai Ujiri in Toronto. And then great development work there by the Raptors under Dwayne Casey.
Each team has taken 11 free throws tonight. Pacers have made
feeling this game is going to come down to that free throw line once again. And another miss for the Pacers.
Well, Siakam has struggled from the line in the playoffs. Came in at only 65% tonight. He's 4 for 6 on the evening.
Indiana in the quarter from the line, 3 of 8. Indiana, foul to give. Shot clock at 7. A collision on top and a foul. And it goes on Nembhard. His first.
Had a foul to give. Bring in Karl Anthony Towns for this last possession.
Well, Reggie, you talked about this earlier tonight. But Indiana's done a great job throughout the 2 games of fighting over screens. If you don't set a solid screen, they're going to be over and back in front of the ball. You have to either force the switch to a matchup you want or force them to put 2 guys on the ball, and you can only do that if you set solid screens. Cannot be slipping out.
And what those solid screen does, it allows Brunson to get that 1 extra step going downhill.
Brunson, a spin, he'll try to tie it.
See what the footwork does? Because of those fadeaways, he's able to do those kind of moves.
Good if it goes, and it hits the back, and we are tied at 81 at the end of 3 in game 2. 16 ties, 17 lead changes. Indiana closes the third 7-4. 2025 NBA playoffs on TNT, presented by Google.
Presented by AT&T and Siakam show right here. 32 of the 81 Pacer points, and doing it from a little bit of everywhere. Our own Alan Forrest had a chance to talk with Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau about Siakam.
Well, Coach, how do you handle Pascal Siakam?
Yeah, we got to make a play in the crowd. Got to challenge the shots, finish our defense against them.
In this 4th quarter, how do you want to control the pace and not allow their speed offensively and their pace to give them confidence?
Just communication and be aggressive.
Thank you, Coach.
New York is going to face full court pressure starting the 4th quarter. They are 8 better in the rebounding category than Indiana. Pacers are +8 in the paint. New York is +8 second chance. Fast break, Indiana +7. Bridges.
And guys, to me, these first 3-4 minutes without Brunson on the floor, who's been great offensively, is going to be pivotal for Indiana for their success.
15-footer from McConnell is down.
Oh, McConnell now in double figures.
He's just a thorn in the side of whoever team he's playing because he's relentless with his pressure.
10 points in game 1. Towns bumping, and the fadeaway, and a foul. Siakam picks up his 3rd. Towns was firing. He'll be at the line, and we're just seconds into the 4th quarter. National TV schedule coming up tomorrow. ABC Western Conference Finals. They'll go to Minneapolis for games 3 and 4. Thunder up 2-0 on the Timberwolves. Sunday on TNT, we will go to the home of the Indy 500, Indianapolis, Indiana, with the Knicks and Pacers in game 3, 8 o'clock Eastern. And for more of those games, go on. By the way, the 500 is going to play the afternoon the afternoon of our game that night.
Are you going to go?
Coach, what do you think? This is my job here. I got to study the notes you send us.
I thought you might actually be announcing the 500.
That is on my bucket list.
Before you came to our
He could do it. He could do it. He could do it.
New York from the line is 12 of 13.
I am absolutely loving how the Knicks are locked in. Remember game 1.
Oh, McConnell, great change, takes it in. Foul called. I'm sorry, Reg, but there was a little foul on the top there, and it goes.
And that's a bad foul on Karl Anthony Towns, his 3rd.
The Knicks and Towns, you're right, number 3.
Boy, McConnell had a wide open layup before that whistle.
Yeah, we should get like football, be able to decline the penalty.
Yes.
We're going to take the layup and go the other way.
All right. So Turner, McConnell, Neesmith, and Shepard out there along with Siakam. The 5 for the Pacers. Shepard, nice pass inside. Turner converts. What a pass by Shepard.
And
right
contact.
on the screws.
And contact.
And a foul, so he'll go to the line. So count the 2 and send Turner to the stripe. And the foul on Robinson, number 2.
That's a great look by Shepard. And a bad foul. You're not there to contest the shot. You just got to let it go. This is simply giving Indiana an opportunity for a free point.
3-point play, 3-point lead.
Well, Ben Shepard in his full
Not near it. Knocked out of his hands, but it is off of Indiana.
But again, an
7 on the clock.
Extra possession created by Robinson on the offensive glass.
Right, he will not get credit for an offensive rebound, but I believe that is the 3rd one tonight where he's been fighting like that ball went out of bounds and New York gets an extra possession.
Nimhard for Neesmith. Indiana leads this series 1-0. Game 2 tonight, and Game 3 Sunday in Indy. Bridges. Nimhard on him. Shot clock at 2.
Oh, man, what a tough shot there by Bridges. He has come on here in this second half.
It's Turner. Off the glass and down for the deuce in the 3-point Pacer lead, and he's got 8.
So, Coach, if you're Coach Thibodeau, how long are you keeping Brunson over there on the bench?
Well, I think they're going to give him another couple of minutes.
Oh, McBride just turned it over.
And that's just the turnovers. That's 12 now for New York.
Number 15 in Game 1 for 27 Pacers points.
McConnell with a burst. On top, Shepard 3.
That's usually what happens in the playoffs. You turn the basketball over, and they burn you. And again, it's the penetration by McConnell and Ben Shepard. 8-2 Indiana run to start this 4th quarter.
Sportsbook app tonight. Make every playoff moment more on America's #1 sportsbook. Indiana in this 4th, 4 of 4 from the floor. The 2025 Major League Baseball season is here. TBS has you covered all season long. Braves and the Phillies on May 27, 6:30 Eastern on TBS and streaming on Max. Indy by 6, under 10 to go, 4th quarter, leading the series 1-0. It's Towns and Siakam. Karl Anthony Towns, side of the backboard. Bridges volleyballs it back to Payne. Shot clock at 2, didn't hit the rim. Defense by Turner. Shot is away. Nice defense, Indiana.
Well, Coach, what do you think here of Coach Thibodeau going with his version of the twin tower look of Robinson and Towns? We've seen a lot of that in these playoffs and in this series here.
Well, I think he likes the Mitchell Robinson matchup on Siakam to have a little more size on him and some switchability on the pick and rolls.
McConnell with 10. Bridges will defend. Siakam 3.
He's killing him.
He
killing him.
Well, and so is TJ McConnell, who drove that one into the lane and created his 4th assist to go with 10 points.
35 for Siakam. 11-2 run for the Indiana Pacers. It's Payne with a 3 and a whistle. With 9 exactly to play in the 4th and a 9-point Indiana lead.
And here's the problem. If you got Mitchell Robinson on Siakam, he's used to being a rim protector. He's in the paint. Siakam out there behind that 3-point line, knocking down his 3rd 3 of the evening. Shepard to the bench for the Pacers. Good minutes for him off the bench. And again, the rotation of players for Indiana. Again, trying to wear down this Knicks team.
Neesmith is in, Payne is out, Anunoby is in, Towns out, Brunson in. Spinning, McConnell is defending McBride.
When you look at Indiana, Coach, we kept talking about the boxing analogies. They just want to keep jabbing you. Paper cuts, jab, jab, jab. And then the overhand right comes like it did in Game 1 with Neesmith and Halliburton in that 4th quarter.
McConnell picked up his 2nd. Under 9 to go in the 4th. Game 1 went to overtime.
Look at the pressure. Extend it all the way out to half court.
Bridges. Rise and fire.
He's been so good here in the second half, scoring the basketball in Mikal Bridges.
And Mitchell Robinson, we focus obviously on his rebounding, but his screening has created a lot of opportunities for New York.
Neesmith. Oh, got treacherous inside. Brunson held his ground. Turnover. Flying Bridges. Anunoby. Brunson. Bridges. 3. Rebound. Corralled inside.
That was a dare three.
Long pass, Bridges at the other end. Lackadaisical by Indiana.
Yeah, poor defensive balance. When the shot goes up, someone else has to be rotating back. Rick Carlisle wants to talk that one over.
5-point game, 7:55 in the fourth. Everybody standing, watching. The feed was there, the two at the other end. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Be kind to yourself and each other. Scan to learn more about NBA Total Health, presented by Evernorth Health Services. We're getting to that time, 7:55, when you begin to think of two players specifically, Halliburton and Brunson, and what they can do late in the game. And they're both in, and Halliburton's got it. And Robinson comes out to meet him. Toppin, Halliburton, he's got 11, drives hard, oh, knocked away Robinson, but he kind of twisted an ankle as he came down awkwardly.
Again, the way that you're able to switch with Robinson out there on the perimeter. Halliburton thought he had a step on him. Oh, this is going to be interesting to see how Robinson can walk this off here. He is in some pain.
3.8 seconds to shoot. Neesmith, three, cut it. Uh-oh. That's a triple. He knocks it in. Give him 10. His second three tonight. Had 6 in game 1. With his historic performance. 6 in the fourth quarter. First time ever in NBA playoff history in the fourth. Anunoby, triple. Rebound, Robinson. Dug it out, keeps it alive. Another offensive rebound, 9 for the game overall. Brunson, 3.
Hey, I gotta say, what I would do if I was Indiana going forward in this series, every time Mitchell Robinson gets an offensive rebound, I'd foul him.
Nimhard in there, and McBride was defending. Under 7 to go in the fourth.
Here's what I'm talking about right here.
Just wrap him up. Wrap him up.
It doesn't matter whether he's shooting free throws or not. Don't let him create these three-point shots for the Knicks. I would do it every time unless I've got a guy who's in big foul trouble, but Turner's only got 2 with 7 minutes to go. I'd wrap him up on every offensive rebound.
Because the Knicks' best offense in the second half has been a missed shot, an offensive opportunity.
Halliburton. Brunson the board. 5-point deficit for New York, and they come the other way. Brunson's got 29. Bridges has got 16, and now 18.
Miscommunication there on that screen between Bridges and Brunson. And here comes the New York Knicks.
Bridges with an 8-point fourth. It's Toppin. It's Neesmith. Lasers one inside as McBride pushes Turner underneath, and a foul on Miles Deuce McBride.
This has got to be a switch, right?
But Neesmith does not want to leave Brunson, and they do not want to switch Halliburton onto him. But then the Knicks had miscommunication down at this end with Brunson and OG Anunoby, and we end up with Turner getting a layup, and they have to take a foul to stop it.
Turner's 2 of 3. Indiana's in the bonus. 6:21 to go in the fourth.
And now, role reversal. The Pacers can't make a free throw. 8 of 14 here in the fourth. And the Garden faithful fans, they are engaged.
4-point game.
When do you bring back Siakam?
Well, and then the question is, when are you bringing Towns back, and will Josh Hart be back in the game?
It's a Neesmith foul.
Josh Hart's second in the NBA in minutes played this year. We're used to seeing him out there 40 minutes a night. He's played 23 minutes.
Remember, he got into early foul trouble.
But that's not an issue now.
Neesmith, his third. McBride and Brunson. Bonus both ways. Brunson dancing. And a rebound collected by Toppin. Out to Halliburton.
Nice great block out by Toppin to get that rebound.
Nembhard. Driving Turner. Got his miss and shoves it in. 6-point Pacer lead.
Well, Nembhard's really improved the last couple of years in his pick-and-roll playmaking ability.
And he's the smaller version of Derek White. Just does a little bit of everything for your team. Free throw line, and now Jalen Brunson on the ground here. Did he roll that ankle? Slow to get up.
Very slow to get up.
And we've seen already with Mitchell Robinson rolling an ankle early on. Here's the pass. Oh no, it looked like someone just stepped on him. That was Halliburton that stepped on that foot. He didn't roll it. It didn't look like from that angle.
Robinson's first trip to the free throw line tonight with his 4 points, 3 blocks, 9 boards.
He is now 18 for 49 in the playoffs from the free throw line.
Here's a great look right here. Yeah, just came down on that ankle.
Hart is in.
So let me ask you a question, Coach. Karl Anthony Towns only 25 minutes tonight and has been saddled over there on the bench with 20 points.
And the only thing I can think is they're minus 23 with Towns on the court tonight. But an all-NBA guy not coming back in down the stretch.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Neesmith a screen, Halliburton against Brunson. The 2 headliners. Halliburton. Now Robinson out there on the defense. Shot clock at 5. He'll dance. Lose it. Grab it. Tees up a 3. Rebound Bridges. They'll make a move. And the fadeaway. Bridges.
Big time shot.
20 points.
Big time shot.
Tough.
That's over a 7-footer.
Halliburton and Brunson. On the wing. It's a 3. Got it. What a shot. Miles Turner.
And that's because Mitchell Robinson, his first job, he's always thinking help when the driver gets into the paint area, leaving the shooter Turner in the corner.
Turner with an 11-point fourth quarter. Brunson will dance. Neesmith is there. Shot clock at 6 with a twirl and a fire.
This is pretty good defense by Indiana. A lot of help, 3 bodies around Bridges. He keeps going, he shoots it over the top. And this is what Reggie was talking about. Mitchell Robinson's instincts as a center are to come protect the rim. He pulls all the way in. Turner open for the 3. We've seen Mitchell Robinson, he can switch and guard the ball fine. It's off the ball he's having his problem.
Well, you just think that free throws are going to play a big role here down the stretch, don't you?
Well, the Knicks have made 5 more than Indiana has, despite only shooting 1 more to this point.
And the clutch comparisons right there. From game 1, previous 10 for New York.
And the ball is going to be in his hands.
Yes.
18 of the 24 seconds. He's going to be able to make a play.
This is how you slow the game down, too, right? With these.
And they get
throws.
rest, you know?
And rest, yes.
Again, when
yes.
your team is playing heavy minutes, you get a chance to get a break here.
Brunson had 43 in game 1, and tonight Brunson's got 31. What a machine.
Now they're targeting Brunson in that
And they did this the other night. Halliburton, 3! Halliburton drains 1. 7-point Indiana lead. That was a big triple. Bridges and Brunson. Inside Robinson. In stride, he could not get it.
Here they come.
Halliburton had it. He'll swerve and feed and Nembhard. Neesmith tees 1 up from 3. Inside Siakam with a foul on New York and 3:23 in the 4th. In the bonus as well.
Well, this high screen and roll in this 4th quarter, they've been trying to get Brunson to guard Halliburton, and he just kind of walks him down and lulls him to sleep. Drains a three for Halliburton. Remember, slow and quiet first half for Halliburton. But when the lights get brightest here in the fourth quarter, you talked about we have two of the best clutch players in our game, and certainly left here in the playoffs. And Halliburton for Indiana and Brunson for the Knicks.
36 points for Pascal Siakam. 16 in the first quarter. He had 7 in the second, 3 in the third. And here he is again.
And still no move.
To finish off for Siakam, a career high in the playoffs of 37 points in his 82nd playoff game. Robinson at the line, and the foul on the play on Halliburton picks it up. 1-2, Robinson at the stripe.
That's a brilliant strategy, because why allow Brunson to hurt you when you can put Robinson on the line, and if he goes 1 for 2, you'll take this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at this.
He may not even go 1 for 2. And you take out any chance at a 3, which is a big comeback thing with threes. There's no chance of that. So even if he makes both, you've taken that out. And you've taken their best offensive rebounder off the line.
So you'll take 1 for 2 and trade it for a 2 or 3 here for the Pacers.
Absolutely, and Towns is going to get off the bench with 3:14 to go.
They rotate Nembhard. Cross court, Siakam. He penetrates and fires. Hart the rebound. 8-point deficit. Brunson with the ball and on the move and through traffic and finds Robinson. Brunson, it's a 3. Rebound, snared inside. Halliburton, Siakam on the breakaway, and he takes it in for 2.
And they just keep coming at you.
They do, you're right.
How about the look up there by Halliburton, who now has 11 assists to go along with those 14 points.
Brunson tries to ramrod his way inside. Hart. Get the whistle and 2:25 to go here in the fourth. Bodies on the floor, including Siakam and Anunoby, former teammates in Toronto.
I don't like Bridges' run in from the top there. If you're coming off the top on a shot from the baseline, nobody's back, then that kills you. Your defensive balance, Bridges cannot go to the board from the top there with the ball shot on the baseline.
Siakam picks up his 4th. Anunoby at the free throw line. So the Knicks tonight, after missing 12 free throws in game 1, and here comes Towns back in, replacing Mitchell Robinson.
Now it's going to be interesting in game 3 how Robinson is moving, because rolled and twisted ankles for guards is a lot different than it is for big men. As much load as they got to carry.
Where the Knicks get 2-2 right there. And at the free throw line tonight, 18-21. And Indiana 11-17.
They're going to need to put together some stops here.
Bridges is on Halliburton. They switch right there. And now to Siakam. Bridges will defend. It's a 2. Knocked away. Turner knocked it away. Halliburton's got it. They keep it alive with a great offensive rebound.
They're trying to get Brunson again to switch.
Halliburton. It's a 3.
That was blocked.
It was. Nice defense. Out of bounds it goes. 1:50 to go. Down by 8. Knicks ball and full court pressure coming up for Indiana, and a smile from Halliburton.
Oh, that was good D there by Bridges. Looked like he may have gotten a hand on it. Towns lucky he didn't pick up an offensive foul right there.
Brunson lets it rip from 3.
Right back to a 5-point game.
Halliburton into traffic, kicks Knicks. It's a three. No. Rebound. Tap by Siakam. But right back to Bridges. And New York the other way, down by 5. Brunson. Nesmith will defend. Brunson takes it inside. Oh, he got it. 7-0 run. 3-point game. Timeout.
Jalen Brunson again putting the Knicks on his shoulder and back. Here's a little step back three, and then gets all the way into the paint. There's the contact, no call. Knicks rolling.
So let's look ahead here. We got 66 seconds left in regulation. What do we look forward to?
Well, look, the other night in these situations, Tom Thibodeau had Mitchell Robinson in the game going offense, defense, but he's only got one timeout left. He would have to use it to get Towns back in the game, so he's going to stay with Towns on the floor on a defensive possession. Knicks with their starters.
For Indiana, they've been doing a good job of trying to target Brunson.
They get it in, squeezing it off to Siakam.
I think Siakam's got to have a say in this, the way he's been shooting the basketball tonight.
Halliburton, Nesmith trudging his way into the paint on the fly. He got his own miss. Offensive rebound, Indiana. They'll do it again, reloading. Halliburton, Siakam, Bridges defends. Siakam, knocked out again, but this time corralled by Anunoby. Shot clock at 7. Halliburton and Brunson. Inside hard, it's open. 1-point game. 9-0 run by the Knicks, and they throw it away.
But they called a foul on Brunson, holding Nesmith, it looked like.
Brunson foul.
They put 2 on the ball here on Brunson. Hart just goes straight to the cup.
Wide open, and then, wow.
And he didn't have to do it because that pass was off there.
Yeah, he just grabs his
Fist by Halliburton.
Easy call. So now, if Nesmith can make 2, is New York going to use their last time out here or push it and save it? And if they're pushing it, Indiana, if you're up 3, I would think uses the foul.
And this is the same situation the Knicks were in game 1 when they were up. But they were missing the free throws down the stretch. Remember those 2 big misses, one by Karl-Anthony Towns and the other by OG.
That's absolutely right. Nesmith needs to go to the line and make both here.
First free throw tonight. But he's a terrific free throw shooter. He was 91% in the regular season. Shepard is in. And Aaron Nesmith, who had that 17-point and
he's
all those threes in those last 3 minutes of game 1 is up there right now.
Yeah, and he's 90% at the line in the playoffs now with that make.
Wow.
No timeout. They're going to go the length of the way, and I like this. Put him in a scramble situation.
3-point game. It's a 3 to tie. No. Rebound Turner. Pounded. And a whistle and 4.2 seconds to go.
Wow, that was an awfully deep 3. I think he was worried about them taking a foul. Wanted to get one up when he could, but that is a deep 3.
Bridges picked up the foul. 4.2, and there is a calm and quiet here in the Garden, as if they know now what may happen to their Knicks.
Well, what's Indiana's doing here on the road in the playoffs is phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
They go into Cleveland, the #1 seed, and win all 3 in Cleveland, and now they're on the verge here of winning 2.
Miles Turner. The lead is 4. With 4.2 to go and another free throw coming, and at the line, Turner is 4 of 6 with 15 points.
And Tom Thibodeau will use his last time out here, and they'll have it side out of bounds, but down 4, unless you do something stupid.
Well, I've seen some 4-point plays in this building. Haven't been a part of them. So just know there's anything possible in this building.
3 of 4 in the fourth quarter for Turner at the line. And now the 5-point lead with 4.2 to go.
Okay, but looking ahead, it's going to be very, very tough here for the Knicks in this one. It will be, and you're down 0-2 at home. You might think that's a huge problem, insurmountable. The Knicks are also 5-1 on the road this year in the playoffs. This series far from over.
And remember, this Pacer team did the same thing to Cleveland, right? Came home for game 3, and Cleveland ran them out of the building to go 2-1. Now, they lost game 4 and 5, but yes, to your point, you're very right about this team being able to go on the road and win.
And we'll show all these numbers at the beginning of game 3, but Halliburton, Nembhard, and Nesmith in particular have been far, far better shooting the ball on the road in these playoffs than they have at home. All 3 of them have struggled at home. Halliburton in particular averaging 8 fewer points a game and goes from 46% or 57% on the road to 36% at home. So this thing's far from over.
Well, here's the thing. You cannot foul a 3-point shooter here if you're Indiana.
No, and it's a 5-point game, so I don't know how you do a 5-point play, but on this one, I'm not even really guarding. Try to extend the catch a little bit, make them take some time, but
don't even put yourself in the position where the ref could officially call a foul on you.
No, I'm letting them shoot the ball, especially if I can push it out, make a guy take a dribble.
Turner out, and Toppin is in. And Brunson to inbound to Hart. Back to Brunson over Shepard. The 3, no, that's it. And Indiana has gone up 2 games to none over the Knicks. And in the playoffs, they are now 10-2, and they are 6-0 in their last 6 playoff road games. A
3 and 5 in the Garden in the playoffs.
And look at that. For any team that goes up 2-0, the record is incredible. Let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Pascal, congratulations. In game 1, you were the ones doing the chasing, but it felt like you had control of this game. What made game 2 different for you?
Just our intensity was a lot better. We didn't like our defense in that first game, so we just wanted to correct some things. But I just thought the fight of the guys was good from the jump. They made some runs, but we were able to sustain it and just play our ball.
It was a career playoff high for you, my friend. What got you going earlier, and how did your teammates put you in a position to have this success tonight?
Yeah, I just came out aggressive. You know, at the end of the day, like, we're a team, you know. It doesn't matter who scores. That's what I love so much about this team. It's like, we don't care about who scores. We just want to win the game. So I got to go in early. You know, the guys did a good job finding me. And again, another night is going to be somebody else. You know, that's what makes us special.
Another thing that's spectacular and special is you are 6-1 on the road in this postseason. What is it about being on the road, that extra noise or the opposing fans that settles this team in?
I think, you know, we know that nobody's picking us to win this game, so we just go out there. We know that, you know, we got our team. That's all we got, and you know, we don't really care about nothing else. But our teammates, you know, the coaching staff doing a great job preparing us for those moments, and we just play ball, like, at the end of the day, and that's all it is. A home or away, we just want to play.
The chip on the shoulder is working. Thanks, Pascal. We'll see you in Indiana.
Thank you.
Indiana shoots 52% from the floors. Pascal Siakam had 39 points. Jalen Brunson had 36. And this series now finds the Indiana Pacers up 2-0 over the New York Knicks. Coming up next, it's Inside the NBA presented by Kia. Our producer, Tom Heights, director, Jonathan Bywaters, statistician, Brian Taylor. Also, we thank Aaron Banks, Tyler Makins, and Calvin Barnes for Allie LaForce and Stan Van Gundy, along with Reggie Miller. Kevin Harlan saying goodnight courtside from Madison Square Garden. You're watching the 2025 Eastern Conference Finals on TNT.
день. Светла, но непонятна вся. Но как обрывок сна она приходит с речью внятной, и вслед за ней всегда весна. Вот здесь садится и болтает, ей нравится дразнить меня и мигать, что всякий знает про тайный вихрь ее огня. Но я не...
Завтра в сумерки встретимся мы, ты протянешь приветливо руки, но на памяти с прежней зимы непонятно тоскливые звуки. Ты, я знаю, запомнила дни заблуждений моих и тревог. И когда мы с тобой одни, и безмолвен соседний порог, начинают незримо летать одинокие искры твои. Начинаю тебя узнавать под напевами близкой любви. И на миг ты по-прежнему ты, легкой дрожью даешь вспоминать о блаженстве протекшей зимы, отдаленной, но верной мечты. Под напевом мороза и тьмы начинаешь дрожать и роптать, и как прежде мгновенную речь я стараюсь во тьме подстеречь.
Heaven knows, men know that I love you so much, Jamila. Ooh, yes I do. You left my world and left me so cold. Now I'm wondering how I'm gonna get you back. Hey, nothing about to make it right. Jamila, kiyape mun. Na dawo gida ban ga Jamila ba, na dawo gida ban ji muryanta ba. Hey, wayo, a neman mun Jamila. Jamila, don Allah ki dawo gida, babu abin da zai raba mu har abada. Jamila, zuciya na ɓaciwa. Gida, 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 gida. Ooh, no matter what people do or say, this love will never die. If I knew I never hurt you so bad, drinking so much, too much women.